What's going on, guys? It's your boy Haiguh back with another Anthem video, and I'm pretty excited to bring this one to you guys. I've got another build for you guys today, but there is a difference between this build and the past two builds I've shown you. The past two builds are more necessary or recommended builds. This is a good build for sure, but it's more of a fun build. Like, if you want to give it a try, you can, but you don't have to, so it's optional. But before we get into today's video, I do want to say that I will be covering a bit more in this video, and I will try to keep the future build videos in this format, because I feel it's a much more in-depth breakdown. You'll see what I mean as we go on. And as of the time I'm recording this, we're almost at 1,400 subs, which is freaking ridiculous. We just hit 1,000 the other day. This is all insane. Thank you guys so much for the support. I get notified for about 95% of the comments on my videos, and seeing some of you enjoy my videos, give me ideas, tell me to keep it up, and congratulate me really makes my day and makes me want to work even harder. So thank you again. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So as you can tell by the title, I'm naming this the Hulk Vampire Ultimate build, or HVU for short. The idea was first given to me by my boy Rosh on Twitch. He commented on one of my videos with the build and came into my stream and chatted with me about it. By the way, if you want to chat with me or watch me play live, feel free to follow me on Twitch, like he did. Link will be in the description. Anyways, I knew all the parts of this build existed, but for some reason, them all working together just didn't click for me. But after putting this together and making some adjustments, I've got a pretty scary and fun build for you guys. This build is based around the masterworked or legendary version of the Venom Spitter called Solvent Green. The perk it gives is what drives this build. Combos do 200% more damage when equipped. Now, for all the people that commented on my videos saying the perk was on the Venom Spitter and not on a component, thank you. The friend that mentioned the perk to me said it was a component, but I get that it's on the Venom Spitter. Anyways, there are cons to this ability. One thing that I don't like is that unless you get some pretty nice inscriptions, your Venom Spitter barely does any damage, which sucks. But with good inscriptions, I hear this hits pretty hard. The other huge thing that I dislike about this is that the Venom Spitter is a primer, but it doesn't prime very frequently. If you've never used it before, it gives you 10 shots total, and you shoot these little acid balls at the enemies. They have a pretty good range, to be honest, so they can be used at medium or close range, but the acid never primes. How are you going to have a huge combo damage increase on an ability that can't even prime enemies for combos? It's kind of stupid in my opinion. I don't mind the Venom Spitter being weak or anything like that, but at least let the primes work. I don't know if they intended it like this, but I've had moments where I've used all 10 shots on an enemy and they still don't get primed. It's okay though, because we end up using this to our advantage. With that being said, let's take a look at the Ordnance Launcher. Because of the fact that the Spitter doesn't prime, we should use an Ordnance Launcher that primes well. Can you guys think of any? That's right, all reliable, the Shot Coil. You guys probably remember this from 2 videos ago, but the Shot Coil is the primer king. As soon as you hit someone, they're primed. And I don't know if you guys remember, a few videos ago, I also mentioned that the Colossus melee not only causes the detonation, but when you get combos, you get a little extra explosion. So you prime the enemy with the Shot Coil, then melee, and you can get some pretty nice damage. But wait, there's more. There are 4 key components that I use in this build, and I also want to touch up on something that I haven't mentioned in the past videos, because I totally forgot about it, but we'll do that in a bit. With the first component, you have Catalytic Overdrive, which you guys probably recognize by now. Increase combo damage by 50%. On top of that, you use the purple Colossus combo augment, which increases combo damage by another 50%. Then we have Grand Entrance, which is the masterworked version of the support ability component, the one that extends the timer of your support abilities. The perk on that is that when you have a hard landing, basically you get a little explosion, some extra damage when you land. This is useful because you can just do a little hop before hitting a melee and you get additional damage to your whole set. But yeah, in my past videos I forgot to mention you can stack purple components with masterworked or legendary components. I apologize. I wasn't even doing it myself because I totally forgot. Anyways, the last component and the one that seals this deal is called Demolition Tribute. It's the masterworked version of the component that gives you additional shield damage while sprinting. The perk on it is insane. Melee kills give 20% health back. Melee combo kills do count. However, I do want to make a note. Though melee combo kills count, they only count once per kill or combo kill. In other words, if you melee kill 5 enemies at once, you're not getting 100% health back, unfortunately. But if you combo kill one thing, then run over and combo kill another thing, you will get 40% total. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyways, you get 200% combo damage from your heavy launcher, 100% from components, additional damage from jumping before the melee, and 20% health back on kills with the melee. This isn't even including if you want to use relics. You smash the floor like the Hulk, take back health after kills like a vampire. Doing this repeatedly gives you a ton of ultimate charge as well because of the combos. Now you can see why I named it the Hulk Vampire Ultimate build. I also want to go over some other things that I had to make this build as good as I possibly can, aside from everything I've already gone over. The other 2 components I'm using are both universal components. One is melee inscription, which increases melee damage by 5%, but I also use it because I got an inscription on it that increases combo damage by 5%. It also gives me plus 25% speed on my Shot Coil, which is always nice. The other one I use is called Special Arms Ammo. It increases the damage of heavy pistols, machine pistols, grenade launchers, and autocannons by 30%, which is nice for my weapon, but I also got some good inscriptions on it. I got critical damage plus 6% and ultimate damage plus 25%. I do want to mention quickly that because these are universal components, I drop a lot of health, so be careful as you aren't as tanky as you normally are. I mentioned earlier how you're going to be having your ultimate ability a lot with this build, so the 25% ultimate ultimate damage helps on that part. I was also able to roll a shield pulse with plus 5% combo damage, but I'm not sure if I will use this as much since it's only 5% and I have another shield pulse that gives luck, and with the current state of the game I want to be as close to 90% luck as possible. As far as the weapons, I'm using the Endless Siege and the Wyvern Blitz. I've made a bunch of both of these weapons so I can get better inscriptions, and these are the two best versions I got for this build at the moment. My Endless Siege has auto cannon plus 5% damage, electricity plus 5% damage, ammo plus 30% drop rate, and physical damage plus 100%. Auto cannon damage is good for the weapon itself, electric is good for my shot coil, and I do want to kind of explain physical damage. It's essentially a buff like an elemental damage buff, but it covers different elements, so to speak. So elemental covers fire, ice, and electric, while physical covers impact and acid damage. If you didn't know, impact is the default damage that all weapons deal, except for like grenade launchers. So basically this is a 100% weapon damage buff for me. If you get it for your whole javelin, that affects melee, acid, and impact attacks. Now for the Wyvern Blitz, I got plus 3% javelin damage, plus 7% acid damage, plus 20% harvest bonus, and plus 10% sniper damage. Javelin damage increases all the damage I do, acid damage helps for the venom spitter, sniper damage is obvious, and harvest bonus is a side thing for helping if I have to harvest any materials along the way. While we're talking about side notes, I also want to mention that I was using the legendary venom spitter, but I got a masterworked one that rolled with better inscriptions. Weapon damage, shot coil damage, gear speed, and autocannon ammo. Thanks to playing around with inscriptions, I could add a little more oomph to this build. Now the main downfall of this build is that it's not good on main bosses like stronghold bosses or titans, mainly because you can't prime them too much, but also because usually when fighting a boss like that, your other 3 teammates are focusing on them as well, which leads into the next downfall or annoying part of this build. People can take your combos. Since this build is heavily based around combo damage, if you pop in to prime some enemies and before you melee, your teammates use an ability to take the combo, it's pretty annoying, especially because they're not going to be doing as much damage as you. And if you're not playing with 3 other people that you're communicating with, it's hard to let them know, hey dude, I'm trying to Hulk smash these dudes into oblivion, so can you kind of back off? So even if you can prime a boss, odds are you won't have enough time to melee, especially since the Colossus's melee is kind of slow. However, I do want to mention, because of the fact that this build isn't too good for bosses, that's why I use the Wyvern Blitz. The perk on it is Raptor's Sense. Hovering while firing increases weak point damage by 40%. And as you can see in the video, I was tagging this stronghold boss on GM1 for 38k a pop. You don't even need this build for the boss because the weapons handle that perfectly. Though this build is really nice for crowd control, don't forget that you have weapons too. I'm so proud of the adjustments I made to this build. But into the conclusion, that's pretty much all I can tell you guys about this build. Hopefully I was able to give you some nice ideas. Thank you again to Rosh for giving me the idea, and to all the other people who mentioned it in the comments. I hope I did a good job explaining the build. As always, if you found this video helpful, a like would be greatly appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more Anthem content in the future. Also, don't forget to let me know if there's a build that you'd like to see a video on, or would like to see me give a try. Your build could be in the next video. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Again, thank you for all the support. It's been your boy Haiguh, and I'm out.